I kept this in a scrapbook for a long time. I pulled it out of a Maine Antiques Digest back in 1994. It was an antique swatch book auction. It was a group of private collections to be auctioned, which included swatch books of shirtings, tie silks, wovens, printed silks, cottons, jacquards, ribbons, laces, trimmings, and archival documents, and etc., etc. Why did I keep this for so long? I kept it because it was inspiring to me. I never went to the auction in New York, but I just kept it. I thought it would be really cool. And back in the day, Maine Antiques Digest was black and white. Didn't have color like we do now. And that would have been incredible to see these. I wished I had been in New York City and could have gone, but I was in Florida and could not. But I just hung on to this because, like I said, it was inspiring. After Maine Antiques Digest went to color, there was an auction at Sotheby's, and this is the estate of Mario Botta. Hope I said that correctly, in New York. And this is just an example, a color example of a page out of his swatch book or sample book. And I just kept it. It was inspiring to me. This book is Barbara Johnson's album of styles and fabrics. It's called A Lady of Fashion. This book was printed in 1987, so it's been around for a while. If you find one and you can afford it, grab it, because it's a wonderful book, very inspiring to me. Barbara Johnson was born in 1738, and she was a single lady. She came from a family that was very well-to-do, but what she left behind was this amazing sample book of all the clothes that were bought by and for her throughout her long life. She died in 1825. And the sample book that she kept, remained in the hands of her descendants for 150 years. But this book was put together to showcase exactly what that album she kept looked like. And boy, this is really inspiring to me. And what I loved about it was all the beautiful fabrics from the period, the old writing here, the old engravings in it. It looks like ledger. And this page says August 1738, I believe. But all the little pieces of fabric, just amazing. This book is really amazing and very inspiring. And I wanted to share it a little bit with you. So I want to show you what this book inspired me to make. My own swatch book, sample book. So this is a pretty large book, as you can see, and I will measure it for you. Let's see. And I don't have the man measure this time. I have the actual woman measure, so it's easy. 8 3/4 by just a little bit over 11 1/4. And how thick is this baby? About 1 3/4 thick. So it's fairly good size. But as you know, I make junk journals, and I just wanted to turn this sample book, swatch book idea into a junk journal. I envisioned back in the day somebody having this book, maybe being a buyer for a store or something like that. They'd have to have a lot of paper. They'd have to have a lot of samples too. This is the side. And of course I had to do some bits and pieces out of cloth collage on it, on the front of it. You probably will recognize that some of the pieces are Tim Holtz. Some of the pieces are from my own collection. This is a piece of antique lace with organza and satin. And so I will open that up, little toggle closure button. And I wanted to show you all exactly what this contains inside. I just was so inspired to put together this Swatch book sample book that I took old paper out of a book, an autograph type of album book that showed people's writings from long ago, and I just put all this cloth on it that I had cut up in pieces with a lot of little labels and things. You may recognize some of the pieces. And I just wanted to make a book similar to Barbara Johnson's Album of Style. And so I took old ledger pages. Some of these pages are printed vellum that I put over to protect the old paper and sewed it. So I'll just flip through this and kind of explain bits and pieces of it. Of course, I took this paper and coffee dyed it, put some old pieces here on it, cluster, and just did some decorating on it. And so Pepin paper, old music paper, vellum that I printed were, I actually have some antique botanical imagery that from an actual antique botanical book, and I copied that onto vellum. More ledger. I tried to put a lot of ledger paper into this book. I love the Pepin paper. Made all kinds of pieces. Took some old book pages and put them all together. This would be a fun book to write in, but I think I'm just going to keep it myself, just to kind of remind myself of what a Swatch book might have been like. Yeah, a lot of old bits in here, and I did want to protect the old pieces of paper with the vellum that I printed over. So I'll just let you just look for a little bit. A lot of labels. Enjoyed putting a lot of labels into this, but you can see the writing from the old paper similar to the way it was with Barbara Johnson's. Of course, she didn't have music page, but you gotta have music page. Some coffee dyed paper. This, I do not know the date on this ledger, but it is late 1800s. I did take it apart. I should have probably penciled the date on it, but I didn't. This is from an old botanical book, and I wanted to make pockets, just different little ephemera to go into the pockets. This is just a printed page. This is not old. Just wanted to make it look old. And I just like how that there's a pocket there. I'll put the other stuff back later. I'll just thumb through it. Made some, like a little business card here, and this probably came from store-bought, you know, maybe Tim Holtz or Kathy Holden, I can't remember. But this is a nice little writing surface. Copy of some of my ephemera, little pages, just things kept in here. Oh, this is, let's see, this is 1918. Nice little grungy paper. I think both of these pieces are French. Just another pocket with bits and pieces in it. Really kind of fun to share this book. I've been working on it for a while, and really had such a good time cutting up all the little bits and pieces of fabrics and gluing them down. They feel so nice. They really feel nice. Like the vellum too. This ledger page, I don't know the date on, but it's old. It's old. And then I used some vellum for a pocket, and just put in some bits and pieces that I made. Some digis I included in here. Some scrapbook paper and things like that. Lots of coffee dyed paper, lots of ledger paper, and that's a digital. This is a vintage book page, botanical. More of the vellum that I copied on. So this book has 5 signatures. So there are 10 separate pages with the elements that I cut out from fabrics. And I'm hoping to make another one with really antique fabrics. I've been saving antique fabrics for a long time and really hoping to make another one of these. That would be really fun. All antique would be really amazing. I made this little flip because I could not cover up that picture of the ladies underneath the tree. So I made it a magnet so that, oh, losing my tripod. Okay, better. It happens, things happen. But anyway, I have a lot of these old receipts that's what I did, was copy the old receipts that I had and put it on vellum. Sorry guys, my tripod is falling. But anyway, I'll continue because there's a lot of pages. I didn't count how many pages there were in this book. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. I am out on my porch. The snow is coming down and I'm wearing my husband's battery-powered coat to stay warm. But the lighting is really good out here. And that's it. That's it for that. What I liked best about this book was the last page, because I took some backdrop paper from Tim Holtz and made a little, like a book, like something that you would just write in. Something really cool. And it's hooked right into the back. But I took some old paper and put that back there. And of course made a pocket. And I don't know, just think that this book came out pretty cool. Put some old buttons on a card that I copied. And that is the end.